Patrick Mahomes, one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL, looks to have suffered a high ankle sprain in the playoff game against the Jacksonville Jaguars. Now, a high ankle sprain is also known as a syndesmotic ankle sprain and occurs when the ligaments that connect the tibia to the fibula bones in the leg are stretched or torn. This type of sprain is different from a traditional ankle sprain, which usually affects the ligaments on the outside of the ankle and is generally not as severe. Symptoms of a high ankle sprain include pain, swelling, and difficulty bearing weight on the affected leg. To diagnose a high ankle sprain, a doctor will usually perform a series of physical exam maneuvers and may also order imaging such as an x-ray to rule out a fracture. It looked like Mahomes wanted to continue playing in the first half, but was limping around on the field, went back to the locker room, and supposedly he got an x-ray which was negative and came back on the field to continue playing in the second half. However, it's still fairly risky to continue playing on a high ankle sprain as the ankle is much less stable and you're at a higher risk for fracture, a tear, or injury to another part of your body just for trying to compensate. Treatment for a high ankle sprain typically includes rest, ice, and elevation to reduce swelling. A brace or cast may also be used to immobilize the ankle and allow it to heal, and physical therapy is also often recommended to help regain strength and range of motion in the ankle. Now, the recovery time for a high ankle sprain can vary depending on the severity of the injury, but it's generally a lot longer than a traditional ankle sprain, and it could take several weeks or even months for an individual to return to full activity. Common causes of a high ankle sprain include twisting or turning motions, and if we take a look at this play here, you can see that the defender comes down on the ankle. It's twisted, and it also looks like he may have injured his knee as well. While maybe not the best medical decision to continue coming back into the game, Pat Mahomes is at the highest level of sports. It seems like him, the training staff, and his coaches were willing to take that risk, and it looks like, as I'm recording this video, he's going to be bringing his team a victory and moving on in the playoffs.